Rico, this is the second interview with you on the subject of Jersey's state media and the role they played in the alleged cover-up of the child abuse. What's going on today?
Okay, in today's blog, I'm basically focusing on two news pieces that Channel TV did in September 2009. They went out on the 1st and the 3rd of September. Now, in these news pieces, there was an interview conducted with the Deputy Superintendent Mick Gradwell, who was a former senior investigating officer of the child abuse investigation.
He took over from Letty Harper.
Yeah. Well, he gave these interviews. Now, I've become quite concerned about these interviews for the reasons I'm going to explain. Is they were conducted quite professionally, I have to say. You know, normally in Channel TV, you get 30 seconds on the couch. The presenter will ask a couple of questions, and that's it. But the interview with Mick Gradwell was completely different to what Channel TV normally do. It was he was basically talking.
It wasn't so much an interview, was it? No,
because you don't hear the questions being asked. All you're getting is his sound bites, and you don't know what questions are being asked. So one of the things that really stuck out at me was there was no challenge coming. That no one from the Channel TV, over their two pieces, nothing was being challenged from what Deputy Superintendent Mick Gradwell was saying. And the more I looked at this, I started seeing the connection. And it's the connection with David Rose, journalist of the Daily Mail, Deputy Superintendent Mick Gradwell, and Channel TV. Now, the connection is, on the 1st and the 3rd of September 2009, Channel TV run with the headlines, £20 million bungled abuse. Deputy Superintendent Mick Gradwell is shooting the spiel. He's basically got his Sunday best on, moody lighting. You know, it's looking the part. You know, it's a properly professional done interview. And on the 4th of October, nearly a month later, David Rose writes this big article, which appears in the Daily Mail, called £20 million bungled child abuse investigation. Now, there's, like I was saying in my last posting, there's a formula here. This isn't coincidence. There's a formula here, like, you know, and it's not even like a balanced piece where you go, okay, that might have been wrong, but this was right, and you know, we're asking the questions and we're challenging Mick Gradwell.
Well, it's a journalist's job to ask questions, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah, there's nothing, there's no challenge. This is what it's opinion management is what I'm calling it. I know it's a lot of people use this term, but it's opinion management. It's going out at 6 o'clock. It's going into people's rooms. You know, the child abuse investigation, it was badly run. It was a mess.
Cost 20 million quid.
Cost 20 million. It's ridiculous. Like,
but we know it didn't cost 20 million.
No, but what, you know, the most important thing I want to get here is that it's the connection. It's the connection with David Rose, the Daily Mail, because a month later, like I say, on the 4th of October, the Daily Mail run with this bungled. Now, that's the article that Mick Gradwell leaked draft information from the BDO report to David Rose. So he's giving the interviews to Channel TV.
Well, we're not sure it was from the BDO report. It was drafts. It was drafts from Mike Kellett's.
Yeah, it was drafts. Notes. Yeah, he leaked it. Yeah, it was confidential. He leaked it. It's all there in the transcripts. So, yeah, first beginning of September, Mick Gradwell's on Channel TV, unchallenged, basically trashing what a bad abuse investigation it was. A month later, it appears in the Daily Mail. Same, absolutely, you know, it's the same. You know, it's the same person. He's leaked. There's what I'm trying to get across is there's a connection here. Like, there's a definite connection. I want to know who organised this, who done this. Like, because in 2009, the child abuse investigation is still live. It's still a live investigation, and here we have the senior investigating officer having carte blanche in trashing it. Now, what I want to set out in my blog today is like, okay, people say, well, that's just your opinion. You're doing maybe what Channel TV or someone's doing. You're just putting your view across. But I want people to actually watch the interviews
on Channel Television.
Yeah, which are on my blog. They're on my blog. I want you to watch the interviews and just listen to what I'm saying and see if you are the same opinion. and then read the text I put and see if you come to the same conclusions, because I just think it was a very well orchestrated piece of opinion management. And again, we got it. There's no challenge. You know, surely a journalist would have some notes or something to challenge the deputy superintendent with. But the fact is, we don't hear the person giving the interview. This is why I come back to this whole stage managed thing. It's, you know, if I don't want to talk about the JP just yet, but that will come in time, because when you have, you know, Mick Gradwell doing what he's doing, Channel TV, the Daily Mail, and then also you're going to have the JEP
and BBC Jersey.
Yeah, but I just want to concentrate on the JEP, because I don't want to, because they are the most toxic edifice of this whole cover-up, in my opinion. Which they need their own about 5 blogs just for their own.
Jersey Evening Post.
Yeah, they need at least 5 blogs about what they've done. But yeah, I just want to bring people's attention to Channel TV, September the 1st, September the 3rd, and the David Rose article on the 4th of October 2009. Because I just believe it's a classic piece of opinion management. Because also, I think people forget, in 2009, the Attorney General at the time was dropping abuse cases. It was, I think it was June in 2009, he dropped 11.
That's right.
Now, you can't drop, you know, if people think there's nothing wrong with abuse case investigation, and all of a sudden you're dropping all these cases, you know, people are going to hang on, what's going on there? You've got to, you know, you've got to get it in people's minds. But it was a catastrophe. It was a shambles, you know. And that again, which at some stage I will be going back to look at Graham Power's original suspension, because I've just come concerned with the
Graham Power, the former chief of police.
Yeah, I've got to look at his, because I'm coming concerned with Matt Tapp's work in all this, who was an outside media consultant. We seem to have these consultants, they're like genies in a bottle, like, you know, consultants are popping up everywhere, like, you know. And so yeah, you know, that's something I will come back to at a later stage. But I just don't think, you know, you can't get away from the importance of in 2009 the abuse investigation was still live. Well, you know, like I did mention this in my last interview, and that what message would that, you know, if you're an abuse survivor, like you're sitting down and you're watching all this, you know, what message is that sending out, you know?
Well, it'll be interesting to find out. We've asked this question many a times, it's not been answered. How many abuse or alleged abuse victims came forward when Mick Gradwell and David Walkup took over the case? Well,
it can't be many. I mean, you know, because, you know, like I say, it's sending out that thing, you know, like they didn't trust the police, they didn't trust authorities, you know, and there you have, you know, given the full weight of the local media, you know, this again, you've got to think, this is a full weight, this is a very powerful tool. Because, you know, in Jersey, you know, maybe not everybody's on the internet and that, you know, Channel TV, JEP, so BBC Radio Jersey, it's a very powerful tool to have at your disposal if you want to set an, you know, an agenda. Very powerful. So that's why I'm just saying on my blog today, like, you know, just read it, you know, read it, watch the interviews, listen to what Mick Gradwell's saying and that. Listen to, there's no challenge. You know, it's very important. And let's not forget, Deputy Superintendent Mick Gradwell and Channel TV were both asked to give evidence at the Home Affairs Scrutiny Sub-Panel, but both declined. Now, you know, you look at this how you will. I mean, you know, I can say, like, I know why Mick Gradwell didn't give evidence. That's because he was over a barrel. He'd been caught out, you know.
Under the leadership of David Walkup, but we remember Graham Power got legally suspended, we believe, for having what our authorities call an out-of-control deputy. But I mean, how come David Walkup didn't get suspended for the same thing?
This is, you know, this is what you, like, you know, like as Stuart Sibray would say, you just can't make this up. Like, you know, yeah, Graham Power and his out-of-control deputy Lenny Harper, you know, that's what they played out in the media.
That's right.
But what was going on between David Walkup and Mick Gradwell? It looks like there was no... I mean, I just don't know what was going on. Just
as importantly, why aren't the journalists asking this question?
Well, they don't want to, you know, because they've, you know, it's almost like you've made your bed, now you've got to lie in it. You know, they've set their agenda out. You know, again, no one was meant to look at this. You know, it was like, you know, it's a classic Jersey thing. You you do it, you push it out, and no one asks any questions. But, you know, the more I look at it, the more clear now I'm starting to see how it all happened, you know. But that's why the committee of inquiry is so important, because, you know, if there is to be any, if Jersey is to be a better place for children from now to the future, the role of the media is just as important as the role of the police and the role of, say, social services, or what, you know, whatever. They're all entwined. Everyone has a responsibility to children, surely.
Well, in Jersey, I don't know. So you want to pick up the message you want your readers to pick up today is, you believe, this is your opinion, you want them to make up their own opinion on the two interviews, if we call them interviews, of Mick Gradwell. As far as you see it, all it is staged, managed opinion management. It
is. I mean, you just can't make this up. You know, they do. There was actually 3 pieces, but I'm concentrating on 2. I have put the 3rd piece on my blog, and you can see what Mick Gradwell says at the end of it, and the smile he does at the end of it. But I just want people to watch that. But look, this is what happens. You know, they stage manage it. You know, you've got Gradwell and the Sunday Best and all that. Everyone's freaking happy. The reporter mentions a coconut a couple of times. They package it up. They all go off to the Oscars. Open the envelope. Oh, and the winner is Channel TV. This is ridiculous. You just can't make it out. It's just stupid, you know. And it has to be looked at. And it has to be looked at out of committee of inquiry. And, you know, as a blogger, I find, you know, it's got to be investigated. It's got to be published, and it's up to the viewers, whoever read the blog, read it. Form your own opinions, leave a comment if you want, saying, yeah, Rico, you got it right, or Rico, yeah, you got it wrong. But if I've got it wrong, tell me exactly what I'm getting wrong, because I don't get that. I get things saying I'm an idiot and all that. You know, well, that doesn't tell me anything. I know I'm an idiot.
Let's stay with the evidence.
Yeah, stay with the evidence. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying, you know, and that's what we're doing here. And, you know, it's got to be looked at.
The state media.
Absolutely. State media has got to be looked at.